pall of smoke rises from the heavily fortified security base, pinpointing in the darkness the guardroom which suffered a direct hit by the first mortar. It's believed the terrorists launched several devices from the back of a parked lorry after opening fire at the UDR camp with a machine gun to confuse the soldiers on duty. One of the first people on the scene within minutes of the attack was a local clergyman.
People were coping in a very responsible way, very sad, obviously, that they had a number of friends quite possibly killed and quite a number injured, but no panic. They were being very caring for one another.
Ambulances ferried the 18 injured soldiers to the nearest hospitals, while firemen tackled the blaze. It's not yet known where the 3 UDR men who died were when the gang struck. The explosion had been heard up to 50 miles away, and damage to surrounding property was widespread. With the danger of unexploded devices, the security forces will want to wait until full light before moving in to make a closer examination of the scene. This area will remain sealed off until this afternoon, when a fuller picture will emerge of just how the terrorists carried out the attack. Barbara McCann, tvam News, County Armagh.
Cheshire Police have set up a special task force to coordinate their search for missing student Catherine Ayling. They also want to trace her former boyfriend. Catherine was last seen at Alsager College near Crewe on Wednesday night. Since then, bloodstains have been found in her car. Mandy Thompson reports.
Teams of police with tracker dogs will widen their search of the Crewe area today as concern grows for Catherine's safety. The 24-year-old student was reported missing on Thursday when she failed to turn up for an exam. Her car was later found in the Alsager College car park. It had bloodstains on the front seat. It's believed that Catherine's former boyfriend, American student Curtis Howard, was in the area shortly before she disappeared. The couple met when Catherine was on a student exchange trip to Massachusetts in 1989. Howard is said to be obsessed by her.
The probability is that some harm has befallen her. The probability is that the two of them are together because of the association in the past.
Police will hold another news briefing later this morning. Mandy Thompson, tvam News.
The Soviet Union is appealing to the West for $250 billion in aid to help overhaul its ailing economy. The plea was made by Kremlin envoy Yevgeny Primakov to the International Monetary Fund. Later, he met President Bush to discuss Soviet plans to move towards a market economy. In Ethiopia, aid workers are warning millions of people could die unless the country's new leaders open up vital air and land routes to the famine-hit areas. Yesterday, UN officials and relief workers met the rebel group which has taken power, but the country's main airport is still closed. This report from Martin Frizzell in Addis Ababa.
This is the real tragedy of Ethiopia, a picture taken just days ago of a child dying of malnutrition in the Ogaden region 800 miles from Addis Ababa. Relief workers and diplomats pressed the new rebel command to reopen the capital's airport to enable emergency flights to reach such starving youngsters. But security is still a problem, said the rebels. Maybe there will be flights early next week. That is going to be too late for some.
Down in Godi and Kalafo, people are dying in large numbers. I was in a camp there last week, and they were telling me there were 10 children dying per day.
The rebels claimed the main port of Assab, where nearly 250,000 tons of supplies are stockpiled, is now open, and convoys of aid will be given rebel escorts. The trucks could start moving today. So this new transitional government has reaffirmed that famine relief will be its primary aim. Its commanders yesterday decreed that it's cost so many lives, it must cost no more. Aid directors here say those fine words must be put into practice within days. Martin Frizzell, tvam News in Addis Ababa.
Iceland is considering moves to start whaling again. The International Whaling Commission agreed in Reykjavik to keep a ban on commercial whaling for another year, but Iceland is now threatening to ignore it. Kay Oliver reports.
Japan, Iceland and Norway have lost the first round of their battle to resume commercial whaling. For a year at least, the ban stays in place. But the International Whaling Commission has agreed to pave the way for limited whaling in the Antarctic under a compromise proposal hammered out by Britain, the United States and other anti-whaling nations. The ban on hunting the depleted North Atlantic minke and fin whales will continue.
There certainly is a feeling at the IWC that many of the pro-whaling countries are determined to go whaling again. But we hope at Greenpeace that that won't happen and that the whales will remain safe from commercial whaling for the time being.
The Commission has agreed to look at more humane ways of killing the whales. As the fight to save the whale continues, conservationists fear that Iceland's threat to withdraw from the International Whaling Commission appears to pave the way for slaughter to begin again. Kay Oliver, TVAM News at Greenpeace headquarters in North London.
Torquay United have won promotion to the 3rd Division after a dramatic penalty shootout at Wembley. They drew 2-2 with Blackpool in the 4th Division playoff final, but won 5-4 on penalties. A quick look at the weather. It'll be mainly cloudy this morning, but sunny intervals will develop later. And that's all for now. Our next bulletin is at 5 to 7.
No marks for recognising which family of animals these belong to. Well, they're kangaroos. But that one's more difficult. This is an echidna. And everyone's favourite, a koala, and they all have something in common. They carry their babies about in pockets and pouches. Hello. And it's this special group of mammals with pouches that we're going to look at today. And the happiest hunting ground of all for them, Australia. About 60 million years ago, Australia, the whole continent of it, parted company from its neighbours. She became isolated like a life raft. Her own animals from then on lived in splendid isolation. Many of them remained virtually unchanged over the years. Australia's enormous. The United Kingdom would fit in about 30 times. From east to west, it's about the same as the widest part of the United States. Because it's so vast, it's got wide differences of climate and landscape. Rainforests in the north, cooler in the south. Mountains and forests and desert and endless tracts of dry scrubland. Eucalyptus, the gum trees, seem to be everywhere. So when these first pouched animals found themselves with such a huge playground and no other animals to give them a hard time, they simply adapted in their own ways to fill every survival opportunity open to them. Each species became a specialist, and because of isolation, each remained unique to Australia. We must begin with the real trademark of Australia, the kangaroos. These are the red roos, the biggest of the lot. And they do well because they're all over the continent, and they'll even graze on grass that the sheep won't touch. They're a most successful animal. They like to feed at night and spend the day browsing around. Kangaroos chew the cud. You can look upon them as the natural big grazing animals of Australia. The grey roos are smaller. They're more inclined to woodland, and they're often called foresters. They're often in bigger groups. That's an agile wallaby. He comes from the northern coastal range. Wallabies are rarely just small roos. You can think of them all as roos. This one's a roo of the more open savanna country. This very dark one, that's a black-tailed wallaby, and it comes from east coast regions. It's also called swamp wallaby. It's a swamp animal. The dark coat rather matches the swampy gullies where it's found. Dark, rather heavily built, shaggy animal with a noticeably blacker tail. Now for this animal's action. A slow-motion red roo crossing typical red roo country with easy strides of 15 feet at a time. Steady cruising speed of about 18 miles an hour. It's a way of movement that'll take them without tiring over hundreds and hundreds of miles to find better grazing in times of drought. But look closely here. This is a male animal, but supposing it were a female. Now, the pouch would be just ahead of those back legs on the belly. Keep your eye on that spot. And think of this. It's going very smoothly along. Notice that the rise and fall of that spot with all the leaps, it's ironed out by the long shock-absorbing legs and the balancing tail. I reckon that if there were a baby in the pouch of this animal, it would be having a much smoother ride than it would get from a lot of four-legged galloping animals I can think of. I can't imagine a baby roo ever getting seasick, in spite of the amazing length of these leaps. Watching a full-grown one like this on the move, you could never believe how it began. It began like this. A baby roo, a joey as they're always called, in the very beginning. It must be about 3 minutes old here, because it takes just 3 minutes for it to crawl up through its mother's fur and find the pouch and get in. It looks more like a jelly bean than an animal. It weighs a gram, which is probably about what a jelly bean weighs. It's found the pouch, and it's forcing its way in by instinct. It's totally blind, it has no hind legs, it's pulled its way up with its front legs, and it's looking for the teat. As soon as it finds that teat, it's going to latch on and begin to drink and to nourish itself. The teat will swell inside its mouth so that it can't be got off. When it's a little bit older, things are beginning to develop fast. The ears are a little bit more noticeable. The eyes are clearly beginning to develop. Those little scrambling front feet have got quite long claws on them. And the back legs have developed too. 235 days later, the pouch is this size. The roo is ready to leave. It has to leave then. It'll be pitched out because mother needs the pouch for the next one coming along. That's how they get into the pouch. They literally dive in and then screw themselves round and look out so that the back legs are often hanging out as well as the head. 7 months on now, and the roo has rarely left the pouch. But even now, it'll every now and again take a look inside just to see if there's a drop of milk still on the go. But you can't call it a joey anymore. It's a proper, full, free-range roo, at least half the size of its mum. Now, I don't know if this one realizes it, but the animal he's found is a close relative. You'd certainly never believe it to look at. This is an echidna. At first sight, something like a heavily built hedgehog. Incredible snout on it. And that is the giveaway because this animal lives entirely on ants and termites. Those spines could be anything up to 6 inches long and very, very thick, and they protect it while the digging goes. Just look at all those termites. Great burrowing feet to take it down underground right into the mound and make the best of the job. But the astonishing thing about this animal is that it lays eggs. Baby echidnas are hardly the world's most appealing animal. Their eggs are laid directly into the pouch, usually 1 egg, just occasionally 2, and the pouch is a temporary one. It happens just in time to take the egg, and after the baby's left, it'll have gone. There are no teats in the pouch of an echidna. The milk simply dribbles down, and the baby licks it up off the fur. It comes from little milk-supplying glands. A thing that's going to have spines like this will soon become pretty uncomfortable inside the pouch, and when that happens, that's the time that the baby leaves. The parent will leave it in a safe place to get on with the business of being an echidna. It's a duck-billed platypus. Although the bill certainly looks like a duck, but it's a different character. It's rather soft and leathery, not hard and horny like a duck. There are the nostrils towards the end of it. And it's a feeling bill. When the platypus goes underwater, the eyes and the ears close up, so that it can't see much. It's more or less on instruments, and that's when the bill comes into its own. They're very at home in the water. A good swimmer and diver, the web's fully extended there, the tail working like a rudder, and they'll eat all kinds of things off the bottom, crayfish, all sorts of small animal organisms, and they'll take in mud with it to help grind it up. Here's a good view of the animal. Close fur, but there's an interesting feature which only the male platypus has. On the back legs, on each leg, there's a very sharp spur which is covered with a poisonous substance. A slash from one of these can do you a great deal of damage. In every warm country throughout the world, you'll find eucalyptus trees of some kind or another. But Australia is their homeland. This is where they originated, and this is where they grow bigger and better and denser and higher than anywhere else. And a very specialized little animal lives in the gum trees, the eucalyptus trees. And if you look up at the top of them, you'll find him. It's a koala. One of the loveliest little animals you could possibly imagine, but such a specialist. Now, there are about 350 species of eucalyptus that grow in Australia, but the koala will only eat 12 of those. It knows exactly which one to go for, and it goes for them to the extent of eating about 2.5 pounds a day of these juicy eucalyptus leaves. It eats so much eucalyptus that they even smell a bit like cough sweets, the koalas, if you're close enough to them. They've got cheek pouches too, a little bit like a hamster, and they pack the eucalyptus in. Another thing, they're perfectly adapted for dry countries because they get enough moisture out of the leaves. In fact, the name koala comes from an Aboriginal name which simply means I don't drink. Of course, they are pouched animals, and the young stays in the pouch for 6 months, but a scene like this becomes typical after that. There are so many little close family scenes of mother and child going on all over the treetops with koalas. They have to be God's gift to manufacturers of soft toys. Even those big noses look as if they really are made of plastic. But one thing we must remember about koalas, they're always being called koala bears, and they're not bears at all. They're not even remotely related to bears. But they do look a little bit alike. They have got the most wonderful climbing hands. Once again, you can't quite see the structure of the koala's claws, the way its hands work. To understand a hand, it's easier to look at the palm of it to see the structure of it. So let me draw you a koala's hands because they're very interesting, very well adapted. There's a palm coming here, and then you've got 3 fingers with very sharp little claws on for gripping the bark. And then on the other side, 2 more pads like this, and 2 more with their little claws on, and the wrist comes down like that. It's just as if you looked at your hand and found that you'd got 2 thumbs and 3 fingers. Think how handy that would be for gripping. Now he's got to come on down. That young one has found that gripping hand a great help right from the beginning, just to hang on to his mother's back. The mother's using hers very effectively on the trunk, and I've drawn it. I hope you'll see it more clearly. Down she comes. But koalas are completely tied in with trees. They only cross the ground to get from one tree to another. In Australia, these are taking the place of monkeys and lemurs that will be doing this in other parts of the world. They share the forests with another animal. This one is a brush-tailed possum. These are much less choosy than the koalas. They'll eat more or less anything. They're nocturnal animals. They have only one baby. And that baby will leave the pouch when it's 4 or 5 months old. A familiar sight is to see a possum holed up in a tree like this. You can just glimpse into the pouch. It's something of a go-anywhere animal, the possum. They're one of the few animals that have learnt to come close to man and live with man. They've paid the price because they get run over on the roads, but they give great joy because they go into city parks. And the baby hangs like a leech to its mother's back as soon as the pouch has been left. The greater glider is the biggest of all the group of gliding possums. It's nocturnal. Look at its huge eyes. That gives it away. It will feed only on eucalyptus blossom and leaves. But the most spectacular thing about it is its habit of getting from one tree to the other. And that's how it's done. A glide of 100 yards is possible for these animals. From one tree to the next, and then they'll gallop up again to the top and start the process all over again. With more time, we could go on still. There are many pouched animals in Australia that we haven't looked at. There's the numbats and the wombats and the potoroos that run and jump and climb all over this lovely continent. Now, before I leave you, let's just be sure where these animals we've been looking at fit in the whole class of mammals. Well, right at the bottom, the most primitive of the lot, are the echidna and the duck-billed platypus. Above those come all those other pouched animals, the wallabies and the kangaroos in Australia. Right at the top are the modern mammals. All those thousands throughout the world that have got no pouches at all, which includes dogs and cats and rats and mice and antelopes and lions and tigers and you and me. Goodbye now.
Good morning. The news from tvam on Saturday, the 1st of June. 3 soldiers have been killed and 18 people injured in a gun and mortar bomb attack on an army post in Northern Ireland. It's thought several missiles were fired at the Ulster Defence Regiment base at Glenanne in County Armagh. No one has yet claimed responsibility for the attack. Our Northern Ireland correspondent Barbara McCann reports.
A pall of smoke rises from the heavily fortified security base, pinpointing in the darkness the guardroom which suffered a direct hit by the first mortar. It's believed the terrorists launched several devices from the back of a parked lorry after opening fire at the UDR camp with a machine gun to confuse the soldiers on duty. One of the first people on the scene within minutes of the attack was a local clergyman.
People were coping in a very responsible way, very sad obviously that they had a number of friends quite possibly killed and quite a number injured, but no panic. They were being very caring for one another.
Ambulances ferried the 18 injured soldiers to the nearest hospitals while firemen tackled the blaze. It's not yet known where the 3 UDR men who died were when the gang struck. The explosion had been heard up to 50 miles away and damage to surrounding property was widespread. With the danger of unexploded devices, the security forces will want to wait until full light before moving in to make a closer examination of the scene. This area will remain sealed off until this afternoon, when a fuller picture will emerge of just how the terrorists carried out the attack. Barbara McCann, tvam News, County Armagh.
Cheshire Police have set up a special task force to coordinate their search for missing student Catherine Ayling. They also want to trace her former boyfriend. Catherine was last seen at Alsager College near Crewe on Wednesday night. Since then, bloodstains have been found in her car. Mandy Thompson reports.
Teams of police with tracker dogs will widen their search of the Crewe area today as concern grows for Catherine's safety. The 24-year-old student was reported missing on Thursday when she failed to turn up for an exam. Her car was later found in the Alsager College car park. It had bloodstains on the front seat. It's believed that Catherine's former boyfriend, American student Curtis Howard, was in the area shortly before she disappeared. The couple met when Catherine was on a student exchange trip to Massachusetts in 1989. Howard is said to be obsessed by her.
The probability is that some harm has befallen her. The probability is that the two of them are together because of the association in the past.
Police will hold another news briefing later this morning. Mandy Thompson, tvam News.
The Soviet Union is appealing to the West for $250 billion in aid to help overhaul its ailing economy. The plea was made by Kremlin envoy Yevgeny Primakov to the International Monetary Fund. Later, he met President Bush to discuss Soviet plans to move towards a market economy. In Ethiopia, aid workers are warning millions of people could die unless the country's new leaders open up vital air and land routes to the famine-hit areas. Yesterday, UN officials and relief workers met the rebel group which has taken power. This report from Martin Frizzell in Addis Ababa.
This is the real tragedy of Ethiopia, a picture taken just days ago of a child dying of malnutrition in the Ogaden region 800 miles from Addis Ababa. Relief workers and diplomats pressed the new rebel command to reopen the capital's airport to enable emergency flights to reach such starving youngsters. But security is still a problem, said the rebels. Maybe there will be flights early next week. That is going to be too late for some.
Down in Godi and Calafo, people are dying in large numbers. I was in a camp there last week and they were telling me there were 10 children dying per day.
The rebels claimed the main port of Assab, where nearly 250,000 tons of supplies are stockpiled, is now open and convoys of aid will be given rebel escorts. The trucks could start moving today. So this new transitional government has reaffirmed that famine relief will be its primary aim. Its commanders yesterday decreed that it's cost so many lives, it must cost no more. Aid directors here say those fine words must be put into practice within days. Martin Frizzell, tvam News in Addis Ababa.
2 more children's homes are to be investigated following allegations of ill treatment. Council officers are looking into reports of a form of pin-down discipline at a centre near Falkirk in Scotland. And Welsh Office Minister Nicholas Bennett has ordered an inquiry into claims of brutality at the tvam home in Gwent. Claire Gillingwater reports.
The inquiry into staff conduct at tvam follows allegations that children were ill-treated and locked up while in care. The claims emerged after teenager Philip Knight committed suicide while on remand in Swansea prison. He was said to have attempted suicide while in care at the home. tvam was investigated by police last year after youngsters said they'd been assaulted, but no charges were brought. Next week, the Welsh Office will publish its report on secure units, including tvam, made 2 years ago before these current allegations. Meanwhile, children at the Brodie Centre near Falkirk in Scotland are alleged to have been consistently ill-treated. In some cases, children claim they were forced to strip to their underwear and were kept in solitary confinement. The Director of Social Work said an internal inquiry was underway. Claire Gillingwater, tvam News.
And a quick look at the weather. It'll be mainly cloudy this morning, but sunny intervals will develop later. And that's all from the tvam News team. The time is now 7 o'clock.
Top Banana!
Keeps going around, doesn't it? Never-ending sort of spirals.
Strange.
Yeah. Hiya there. Have a look at this. It's really weird. I have no idea what it is, but it looks like a giant snail, and it's really, really heavy. Any idea where it would have come from?
I bet he comes from the same place as that monster in the jungle.
Oh, don't be soft, Chucky, love. There aren't any monsters.
No. Well, not unless we count Hilda.
Hilda's not very pretty, I know, but this monster's fierce and huge and green and horrible.
Nowhere to be seen, Chucky. I mean, let's face it, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Hey, listen, why don't I go and put this monster-sized snail down, and I'll see if I can find your monster on the way.
All right.
All right?
And, what exactly do you mean, Chuck, about Hilda not being very pretty?
Oh, sorry, Hilda. You're gorgeous, really.
Oh, that's right. Thank you very much, and beautiful.
Well, compared to that monster, anyway.
I get a feeling that's not saying much. There are a few little monsters over here, but not the big, ugly, mean, nasty type, I don't think, that you're talking about, Chucky. Let's meet some of them, hey? Let's get personal. Let me sort of wander up in here. Excuse me. And ask, hello, what's your name?
Laura.
Laura? Laura, where's your group from?
Brayfield.
Brayfield. Now, but you're a group, aren't you? What sort of group?
Dancing.
Dancing group, yeah. So you're going to be really good at dancing, and you have come dressed today as...
Disco dancers.
Oh, you lot should be professionals. I can't wait to see this, because we've asked you to put a little dance for us, put together a little dance for us. You ready for it? On the count of three, let's see it. Oh, 1, 2, 3, go!
We are kids from the dancing school. We are good and we are cool. We dance all day and we dance all night. Dancing school, all right.
Oh, yeah, all right. I reckon it's Top Banana. What do you think? Top Banana or what?
Top banana!
Absolutely. I wish I could fit into some of those outfits, I tell you. Do you think they look good on me? No? No. Never mind, never mind. Oh, hello, what's your name? You'll do.
Richard Mouth.
Richard, and where's your group from?
London.
London? And whereabouts in London? What place?
Hampstead.
Hampstead. But New End, aren't
New
you?
End,
I want you
New
to say
End.
New End, probably, because I've been there before. We're all mates, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sort of get about it like that, you know. But today you look really weird. You've got all this stuff on. You better explain yourselves. What have you come dressed as?
We're night owls.
Night owls. That's why you got your pyjamas on. You've been up so late last night, you didn't go to bed. You've come right through into the morning, and you're ready here for us to do a little number. You ready?
Yeah.
On the count of three, and they go. You ready? 1, 2, 3, go!
We don't sleep in the morning, we stay awake at night. Our names are quite original, they call us New End Night Owls. Twit-woo!
To wit to woo, top to wit banana, or top to wit to what? Oh, no one tried to go top to wit banana, did they? No, not brave enough. Well done, gang. We'll catch up with you later. One more group to meet down here. It's the basic black and white of it all. Oh, and some green in here. Hello, what's your name?
Anna Han.
Anna, and where's your group from?
Big Knoll Middle School in Norwich.
Don't you mean the Big Knoll Football Club?
Big Knoll Sporties.
Oh, you come dressed today as a sporties?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. And that's why you're all done out in your outfits. What's this? Which team?
Football.
The football team? And what about the other ones in the black?
Netball team.
The netball team. All right. Are you all pretty good at sports then?
Yeah.
Okay, show us if you're any good at singing or whatever you've prepared for us. On the count of three, you ready? 1, 2, 3, go!
We are the champions! Netball is a sort of game. Play it fair, no fear, no way. What we'll do, we'll scream and shout and throw the other teams about. Stop all say you must be crazy. We're not going to act like daisies. When we play, we rant and rave until their team is in a daze. Cricket is the game for us. Armed men with battle clubs. Footballers with cruising stars. The opposition must all have our hats.
Oh, yes, time out. We're all going to Wembley. What, Top Banana or what?
Top banana!
What a long song. How did you remember all those words? That's fantastic. Some good sports here, but here's another good sport. One of our favourites. He's the captain.
Oh, yes. Yummy, yummy, scrummy, yummy. Look at this deliciousness.
Look at that for a breakfast. Oh, that's not your usual spread, is it, Captain?
Oh, this is really happening. This is my mega spread, Peanuts. Yo!
Before you go trying to eat it all, why don't we all try to spread a little?
Oh, spread a little happiness. Oh, yes. Even when the darkest clouds are in the sky, you mustn't sigh and you mustn't cry. Spread a little happiness as you go by. Please try. What's the use of worrying and feeling blue when days are all keep smiling through and spread a little happiness as dreams come true. Surely you'll be wise to make the best of every blue day. Don't you realise you'll find next Monday or next Wednesday your golden Tuesday? Even when the darkest clouds are in the sky, you mustn't sigh and you mustn't cry. Spread a little happiness as you go by.
We spread quite a lot of happiness as we go by, don't we, Hilda?
Oh, yes, loads of happy spreading.
Yeah, of course we do.
Spread.
Monster! Over there!
I'm going to go and have a look.
Come on, Peanut! Come on! You're mate! Don't go!
Peanut, don't get eaten! Oh, she'll get eaten and we'll never see her again! Take the monster away! It's eating Peanut!
What makes it go away? Still looks hungry!
Mike! Get rid of this monster!
It's brilliant, Hilda! Yes, save us before we get eaten, Mike! I don't like the way he's looking at me! Oh.
What's all the noise about? Oh, hello.
Don't
Are you
shake
Dino?
hands with him, Mike! Don't shake hands with him! He'll have your arm right off! He's a monster and he's already eaten Peanut!
Don't be ridiculous. He's not a monster. Dino's a dinosaur.
Well, whatever it is, Peanut's in its tummy.
Oh, no, I'm not. I think we really fooled them there, Dino. See you later.
Oh, what a rotten trick! Oh, I was so frightened. Oh.
I thought it was a good trick. Are you going to stick around, Dino? Great, because we got someone coming in a little bit later to the jungle who I think will make you feel right at home. I gotta go.
Are you going to stick around? Oh, doesn't say much, does he?
Neither would you if you were just about to eat a three-headed plant for breakfast.
Oh, look, Hilda, will you relax? All right, Dino is from the same dinosaur family as the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and they only eat meat.
What? Oh, I feel safer now. That's all right then.
See, there's nothing to worry about. You see, they don't eat plants, they only just eat people. And everyone, pretend you're a tree really quickly. That's it. Look at it, Leafy. Look at this. About 100 banana trees. Captain, you look silly. What are you doing over here? Oh, I know why you're over here. Because you're going to be the master of bananasition today, aren't you?
I am, yes. Very
Because we
serious.
couldn't get a proper one. Never mind. But that's because we need a master of bananasition every time we play bananas. You want to play bananas? Oh, that is loud, I tell you what. OK, well, you know how to play bananas, don't you?
Yeah.
It's a game where for 30 seconds you mustn't laugh.
No.
And you must only say the word bananas.
Bananas.
Bananas and nothing but bananas.
Right.
OK?
Right.
Is there anyone who thinks they can do that? Can I have a few volunteers?
Who's the first victim?
All right, let's pick someone over here, shall we? Let's come over here. Hello. Oh, what's your name?
Claire.
Claire. All righty, Claire. Just let Captain get in there beside you because he's not going to make you laugh at all.
I shall
He's
put my
not trying
serious
to-
spectacles
Put
on,
the
mate.
serious spectacles. This is a
there we
serious
go.
part of the show.
Stand
Ready?
back.
Are you ready? Your 30 seconds, Claire. Serious face. Starts now. What do you blow out your nose?
Banana.
What do you keep in your pockets?
Banana.
Well, what's 2 plus 2?
Banana.
What's the name of the Queen's eldest son?
Banana.
Bananas. Prince Bananas, you need. Bananas. Yes. And what do you find in your Christmas crackers?
Banana.
What do you think of the captain? He's been, oh, that's a laugh if I ever
Look
saw
at
one.
this. This is. She win.
No, she didn't make it. I think Claire,
sorry,
the 30
so
seconds was there was still some of the 30 seconds to go. Never mind. There's your banana. Let's move on, Captain. Shall we?
More victims.
All right.
More victims.
Come down this way. Yeah, we want someone who can go the whole 30 seconds. Okay. Okay, what's your name?
Ben.
Ben, all right, move him aside.
Can you just open that
Is
for
there
me,
something
please?
on my head, Captain?
No, not at all, mate.
All right, hang on, we haven't started yet. Your time starts now.
Okay.
Here we go. What would you use if you didn't have any clothes pegs?
Bananas.
What would you wash with?
Bananas.
What does a tooth fairy bring?
Bananas.
Now, think of a word with 3 A's and 2 N's.
Bananas.
What do you want to be when...